Hey bosses, I'm excited to be here today because I am going to share with you 9 simple ways that you can overcome procrastination. You can actually stop procrastination. So today, I know that you have felt ways that you've had tasks hanging over your head or projects hanging over your head that has just caused anxiety. It just kind of sometimes eats you up because you know that you have got to get it done and you keep putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. Well, I will tell you this. If you actually overcome this procrastination habit and you become a wizard at just getting stuff done, like I'm thinking maybe Warren Buffett, and I'm sure there's some other people that you can think of that I really don't think procrastination is probably in their vocabulary, then this is a way that you can actually do just that. All right. Hey, I'm Dr. Heather Williamson with the Transformation Group, and welcome back to the channel. All right, so today let's talk about procrastination. I know that it happens. I mean, I am not naive, and there are reasons why we procrastinate. I mean, it can be one, maybe the project is huge and we just don't really know where to start on it. Or we have no knowledge of anything about how to even begin something like this because we've never done it before. Or, you're just thinking, this is really big and overwhelming. I'm just going to do these other things that I can knock out a little faster. All these things come into play, I know, when you're thinking about getting stuff done and looking at that list and seeing items still on there that were on there yesterday or hours ago that you are thinking in your head, this should have already been done. So I want to share with you 9 very simple ways that you can start doing to actually stop procrastinating. And the first item I want to talk about, or first way I want to tell you, is to actually just delete it. So I want you to think about this when I say delete it. Is it really something, is that task or even that project really something that you should be focusing your attention on? And what I mean by that is, if you're a manager, is it in your job description? If you are a business owner or a CEO, is this something that really should be having your attention at the moment? And if the answer is no, then get rid of it. And I'm going to tell you one way to get rid of it right next, the next item, the next way. But I also want you to take this into consideration, and that is that 80-20 rule. So if you know anything about the 80-20 rule, the verbiage or the way it's talked about is that 80% of, let's say, the revenue in your business is coming from 20% of your customers. So take that into consideration when you are thinking about everything that you've got on your list to do and why you procrastinate. Is this something that is going to actually take up a lot of time and really have no impact? Or should I be focusing on that 20%? Okay? So if the answer is this is taking a lot of time, it will take a lot of time, I really do not have that time, then delete it. All right, the second strategy or tip or way that you can do to actually overcome procrastination or stop procrastination, and that is to delegate it. So I just did recently 2 videos on delegation, and one of them was delegating with purpose, and the one I just did was delegation and why it's important. So check out those 2 videos. It will also help you identify how you can do it more effectively. But when it comes to procrastinating, go back to that item that you have been procrastinating about that has been driving you insane because it's still on your to-do list. Maybe you could actually delegate it and pass it on to somebody else on your team who can actually do it a little better, has the time, has the bandwidth, whatever it needs, okay? So delegate it out, and then it's gone. The third reason, or the third strategy, is to just do it now. Just do it. Knock it out. There are lots of things that can be done. Find out what your most effective time of the day is. For me, it's morning. So I know if I've got something that's going to require a lot of attention that I keep, postponing and procrastinating about starting, then I'll get it done in the morning. All right, so try the same thing for yourself and just do it now. The fourth is to ask for advice. Now, we don't know, everything on maybe how to approach a task or a project. I remember when I started this YouTube channel, I asked for advice. Prince Rich has been a huge resource for me, and I am so appreciative. But, I had no idea where to start on this. And I asked him, he was willing to help me. He was my mentor, is still my mentor on this. So helping find a mentor for yourself and ask for advice on where to start, what process to put in place, and, even, what it might supposed to be looking like in the end to give you a better idea on how long it's going to take and, how much time and effort's going to be needed. All right. So that is the fourth, ask for advice. The fifth is chop that project or that task maybe into smaller pieces. And I say this because sometimes we procrastinate because it is overwhelming and we don't want to start it because of that. So if you break that large, overwhelming task or project into smaller chunks, and I mean break it up into ridiculously small action steps, you will be amazed how fast you will get it done. You will, because I have done this, I use this method myself. So break it up into smaller action steps, and I mean get down to the basics, and you will see that each action step is actually helping you achieve that, marking that task off your list. The sixth is to obey the 15-minute rule. And the 15-minute rule is to make sure that each action step that you have takes no more than 15 minutes. If it does, then maybe you need to break that action step down a little bit further so it only takes 15 minutes or less. All right? And then the seventh way is to actually have clear deadlines. Once you have clear deadlines, you know when things need to get done. And maybe you need to kind of cheat with yourself or play with yourself with regard to time and maybe make the deadline a little bit earlier, maybe a day or two, just so you actually give yourself enough time to get it done, all right? And it gets knocked out. And then the eighth is strategy tip is to give yourself a reward. I don't know about you, but I love rewards. And those rewards can be a simple go out and walk outside, take a nice walk, go maybe have a drink. Like yesterday, I ended up taking a break and I went down on my dock and sat out in the sun because it was an unusual 80-degree day in October, and I took advantage of it. That was my reward for knocking out what I had already knocked out that day. So give yourself a reward. It's a great motivator, I promise you. And then 9 is to remove any distractions that you might have. So for me, I have to close doors. If there are people around, I have to have closed doors because I have to have silence in order to concentrate. I can't have music on, that gets turned off. So remove any distractions that you might have that is going to prevent you from getting down to work. All right? So let's recap those 9 strategies. The first is to delete it. The second is to delegate it. The third is to do it now. The fourth is to ask for advice. The fifth is to chop it up into smaller pieces. The sixth is to obey the 15-minute rule. The 7th is to have clear deadlines. And then the 8th is give yourself a reward. And the 9th is to remove any distractions so you can stay focused. All right? So hopefully these 9 ways to overcome and stop procrastinating is actually something that's going to really help you. I hope it does. And if you found some value in this, then like the button below. Hopefully you will actually subscribe to this channel so you can get more tips like this that will help you be a better boss. And now I want you to go out and be that boss that your employees want to work for. Okay? Bye.